Hey everyone, and welcome back to the deep dive. Ever wondered why that spark, that drive, just isn't what it used to be? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on male vitality because what most people jump to, low T, is usually just half the story.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, the common assumption points straight to testosterone. And look, while it's undeniably crucial, it often overshadows another equally vital player. We're going to reveal this other force today and show you how these two elements work in concert, or sometimes, maybe surprisingly, at cross purposes.
Exactly. So our mission today is to cut through the noise, really dive into the science of both testosterone and nitric oxide, and explain why understanding their synergy is the real secret, maybe, to reclaiming your energy and drive. Let's jump in.
So, okay, let's unpack this a bit. When we talk about drive in men, testosterone almost always pops up first. It's the headline grabber. But what is testosterone, really, beyond the headlines and, the gym locker talk, right? It's often branded as the male hormone, but actually both men's and women produce it. It's not exclusive. In men, it's mainly made in the testicles, with a smaller amount coming from your adrenal glands. What's truly remarkable, though, is how far-reaching its influence is. It's so much more than just sexual function.
Okay, so it's much more than just sex drive then. That's genuinely fascinating because I think for many people, like you said, that's the primary association.
Yeah.
What other vital roles does testosterone play in the body that we might be overlooking?
Oh, it's a powerhouse. It's key for building and maintaining muscle mass and strength because it boosts protein synthesis. That's a big one. It's also essential for keeping your bones strong and dense. And beyond the physical, it significantly impacts your mood and mental clarity. Low levels are often linked to things like depression, irritability, and that really frustrating brain fog.
Brain fog, yeah.
And it also plays a big role in your overall energy levels, your motivation, how your body distributes fat, even red blood cell production for oxygen delivery.
Yeah.
It's involved in so much.
Wow. Okay. So with all those critical functions, it kind of begs the question, why are so many men today experiencing issues? We know there's a natural decline, right? Like 1-2% per year after age 30, but it feels like modern life is really stepping on the gas pedal here.
It really is. Yeah, our fast-paced lives have introduced several, let's call them accelerators. Take chronic stress, for example. That ramps up cortisol, which directly suppresses testosterone production. It's like a seesaw.
Okay, stress is a killer.
It really is. And poor sleep is another major culprit because your body produces a lot of T during those crucial deep sleep phases. Then there's our increasingly sedentary lifestyle. Your body needs movement, especially resistance training, to stimulate testosterone. And of course, nutrition plays a huge part. If you're missing essential fats, micronutrients, you're basically starving your hormone production.
Right, garbage in, garbage out, basically.
Pretty much. And then you've got environmental toxins, things like endocrine disruptors found in plastics, pesticides. They can actually interfere with your body's hormone signals. Oh, and carrying excess body fat. That converts testosterone into estrogen through an enzyme called aromatase, further reducing your available T.
So it's like a perfect storm brewing for our T levels. And what's really interesting, you mentioned this earlier, is that many men experiencing fatigue or low drive actually get blood tests back, and they show normal testosterone levels. So if T isn't the whole story, it means something else is definitely in play.
Exactly. And that's where our second key player steps onto the stage. Nitric oxide.
All right, nitric oxide, or NO. So if testosterone isn't the whole picture, let's turn our attention to this. You called it the forgotten molecule. What exactly is it?
Yeah, forgotten is a good word for it sometimes. Nitric oxide is a tiny gaseous molecule. It acts as a critical signaling compound throughout your entire body. Its discovery was actually so groundbreaking, the scientists who identified its role in cardiovascular health won the Nobel Prize back in '98.
Wow, a Nobel Prize. Okay, that's serious stuff.
It is. Your body produces it from an amino acid called L-arginine using special enzymes. These enzymes are found in different places, like your blood vessels, your nerves. But for our discussion today, the most crucial aspect is its role in relaxing blood vessels. That's its main job, functionally speaking.
Okay, relaxing blood vessels, vasodilation. Right?
Exactly, vasodilation. It tells your blood vessels to relax and widen. Now, this might sound simple, but the implications are absolutely profound. Just imagine the impact of better blood flow everywhere.
Okay, paint the picture. What does that mean?
Well, for cardiovascular health, it keeps blood vessels flexible, helps maintain healthy blood pressure, good circulation. That's foundational. For exercise performance, improved blood flow means muscles get oxygen and nutrients faster, and waste products get cleared out more efficiently. You perform better, recover faster.
Makes sense.
And it's absolutely crucial for sexual function.
Exactly.
NO is the primary molecule responsible for the vascular changes needed for, a normal sexual response. Even your brain benefits hugely. It needs significant blood flow, and NO helps maintain that cerebral circulation, impacting cognitive function, focus.
Right. Helps fight that brain fog we mentioned earlier.
Precisely. And even for recovery and healing from injuries, enhanced blood flow means faster nutrient delivery and waste removal to those areas.
Wow. Okay, that is a seriously impressive resume for a gas. So just like testosterone has its natural decline with age, does nitric oxide production also dwindle as we get older? And what causes that slowdown?
Unfortunately, yes, it does follow a similar pattern. As we get older, those enzymes, the nitric oxide syntheses, they become less efficient. Then you have oxidative stress, think of it like cellular rust from free radicals, which directly interferes with NO production and can even destroy the NO that's already there.
So it's like a double whammy. Less production, more destruction.
Exactly. Plus, the cells lining your blood vessels, the endothelium, they can become less responsive to the signals from nitric oxide over time. And sometimes, yeah, we just have reduced availability of L-arginine or other essential building blocks your body needs to actually make it. It all kind of sets the stage for a tricky situation where blood flow isn't optimal.
Okay, so we've got testosterone, the sort of hormonal conductor, and nitric oxide, the maestro of blood flow. But do they just perform separately on their own stages, or is there more of a symphony happening between them? How do these two crucial players actually interact?
Oh, there's absolutely a symphony. And it's far more interconnected than most people realize. It's really quite insightful. Testosterone actually enhances your body's ability to produce NO, especially in the walls of your blood vessels.
Oh, interesting. How does it do that?
It seems to stimulate the production and activity of those nitric oxide synthase enzymes, particularly the one in blood vessels, ENS. So think of it this way. Robust testosterone levels often pave the way for better nitric oxide production.
Okay, so T helps NO. Is it a one-way street, though? Or does nitric oxide actually feed back and help support testosterone in some way? How does that loop work?
That's a fantastic question. And no, it's definitely not a one-way street. It's more of a partnership. While testosterone provides that direct hormonal drive, nitric oxide enables the necessary vascular changes for testosterone's effects to be fully realized. Think about sexual function again, or how your body responds to exercise. NO makes the physical mechanics possible for T's signals to work effectively.
Gotcha. So T might flip the switch, but NO makes sure the lights actually turn on properly.
That's a great analogy, yeah. And they also share common pathways, meaning many of the same lifestyle factors like diet, exercise, stress management, they positively impact both systems. What's good for one is often good for the other.
Okay, so what does this all mean when things start to go wrong? Because it sounds like if one system starts to decline, it could easily pull the other down into a spiral too.
Precisely. That's the absolute core of what we often call the vicious cycle of decline. It's a really important concept. It often begins with maybe just an initial dip in either T or NO, perhaps due to aging, chronic stress, maybe some poor lifestyle choices stacking up.
Right.
Then your body starts working harder to compensate, which itself creates additional physiological stress. This increased stress and the reduced efficiency then lead to further decreases in both systems. It's not isolated. Before you know it, symptoms like low energy, reduced drive, maybe poor performance in the gym or bedroom become noticeable.
And then that feeling probably makes you less likely to do the things that help,
Right.
right?
So likely that's the kicker. Feeling less vital can then lead to reduced motivation. You might skip workouts, reach for comfort food, and those choices, unfortunately, accelerate the cycle. Pushing both systems down even faster can really snowball.
Wow. Okay. So what's the big takeaway here for someone listening who's maybe experiencing low drive or fatigue? Why is it so crucial to look at both of these systems instead of just zeroing in on T?
Because addressing only one side often leads to incomplete or maybe just temporary improvement. You might fix one part, but neglect the other contributor. The most effective, truly foundational approach is one that supports both systems simultaneously. That's how you really break that vicious cycle and start creating upward momentum instead.
That makes a lot of sense. But it also raises an important question. How can someone tell if their issues are maybe more testosterone dominant or more nitric oxide dominant or just a combination? Are there distinct signs to look for?
Yeah, that's a great point. There are often clues, although honestly for most men it's usually a bit of a mix. But we can look for patterns. If your low drive seems primarily testosterone related, you might notice things like significant muscle mass loss, even if you feel like you're eating enough protein and working out.
Okay.
Severe mood changes can be a big indicator, like clinical depression or persistent irritability, not just a bad day. Men can even experience hot flashes or night sweats, which surprises some people.
Really? Like women going through menopause?
Exactly. Hormonal shifts can cause that. You might also see dramatic changes in body composition, particularly an increase in that stubborn belly fat.
Hmm.
A complete loss of morning erections over an extended period can be a sign, and that profound bone-deep fatigue that just isn't improved by rest.
Okay, those sound pretty significant. And what if it leans more towards a nitric oxide issue? What are the
Yeah.
calling cards there?
In that scenario, the picture might look a bit different. You might actually have pretty good energy and mood overall, but experience poor physical performance.
Hmm.
Like you might have decent muscle mass, but really struggle with exercise endurance. You gas out quickly. Or perhaps you have interest in sexual activity. The desire is there, but you run into persistent physical performance issues.
Mhm.
It's also quite common for men with NO-dominant issues to have quote-unquote normal testosterone levels on their blood tests, yet still feel those persistent symptoms we talked about. That's a big clue. Other potential signs could include consistently cold hands and feet, or maybe other general circulation issues, and often higher blood pressure or other cardiovascular concerns might be present too.
Gotcha. So it sounds like, as you said, most people will probably find themselves somewhere in the middle, experiencing a bit of both, which makes perfect sense given how interconnected these two systems clearly are.
Yeah, that's usually the case. It's rarely just one or the other in complete isolation.
Okay, so given this complex interplay, this synergy, where does someone even start to support both testosterone and nitric oxide naturally? What are the absolute non-negotiables?
Right, the foundations. The absolute bedrock is always lifestyle. If I had to pick one single, most powerful intervention for both systems simultaneously, it would have to be exercise.
Exercise. Okay, what kind?
A mix is usually best. Resistance training, lifting weights, bodyweight exercises is particularly effective for boosting testosterone. High-intensity interval training, or HIIT, is fantastic because it hits both systems really well, boosting T and stimulating NO production. And of course, regular aerobic exercise, running, cycling, swimming is excellent for nitric oxide production and overall cardiovascular health. So, variety is key.
Okay, so we need to get moving, mix it up. What's the next domino to fall in building this foundation after exercise?
Sleep optimization. This is absolutely non-negotiable. Your body does critical repair work and hormone production, including testosterone, during those deep sleep cycles. Aim for that sweet spot, usually 7 to 9 hours nightly. Try to maintain a consistent sleep schedule, even on weekends if you can, and create a sleep sanctuary. Dark, cool, quiet. Protect your sleep.
Yeah, easier said than done sometimes, but crucial. Okay, sleep. What else?
Stress management. We touched on how cortisol suppresses T. Consistent practices like meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga, even just spending time in nature can significantly reduce cortisol. This not only helps T levels, but also supports healthy vascular function, which ties back to NO. So calming the system helps both sides.
Makes sense. Exercise, sleep, stress management. What about what we put into our bodies? Nutrition must play a big role.
Oh, absolutely huge. For testosterone, you need adequate healthy fats. Think avocados, nuts, olive oil, because testosterone is literally made from cholesterol. Good fats are essential. Key minerals like zinc and magnesium are crucial cofactors in the production process. Think of them as spark plugs. Vitamin D is also really important. It acts almost like a hormone itself and directly impacts T levels. Lots of people are deficient. And of course, quality protein provides the building blocks not just for muscle, but for hormones too.
Okay, so fats, zinc, magnesium, vitamin D, protein for T. What about fueling the nitric oxide side?
For NO, you want to focus on foods rich in L-arginine and especially L-citrulline, which are its direct precursors or building blocks. L-citrulline, found in things like watermelon, is actually converted to arginine in the kidneys and might be even more effective for raising NO levels consistently. Then you have nitrate-rich foods. Beetroot is famous for this, but also leafy greens like spinach, arugula, kale. Your body converts these nitrates into nitric oxide.
Ah, so that's why people drink beet juice before workouts.
That's exactly why. And finally, antioxidant-rich foods are key. Berries, dark chocolate, pomegranate. They help protect the nitric oxide your body does produce from being broken down too quickly by oxidative stress. Protect your investment, so to speak.
Got it. So quite a lot we can do with lifestyle and diet. Now we've covered these crucial foundations, but what if someone's doing all that, they're really trying, ticking the boxes, and they still feel like they need an extra push? Is there a place for more targeted support, maybe through supplementation?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think there is. While lifestyle always remains the cornerstone, you can't supplement your way out of a bad diet. Or no exercise-targeted supplementation can certainly help fill gaps or provide an additional boost, especially given the complex relationship we've been talking about. So yeah, supplements specifically designed to enhance nitric oxide pathways, for instance, can offer that extra support.
Okay, so let's talk about those NO-boosting supplements as an example. How do they generally work? What's inside them usually?
Well, they typically include precursors, like we just discussed. Often L-citrulline is favored over L-arginine because it tends to be better absorbed and leads to more sustained increases in arginine levels in the body. They might also contain other compounds that support the body's natural NO production enzymes or ingredients that enhance blood vessel health directly. And crucially, many good ones also include antioxidants like vitamin C, grapeseed extract, things like that, which, again, are vital for protecting the NO molecule once it's produced.
So it's about making more NO and protecting it.
Exactly. Helping your body make more NO, make it more efficiently, and then protecting what it's already got from being degraded too quickly. And users often report things like increased energy, definitely better exercise performance, better pumps, better endurance, and just enhanced overall vitality, largely due to that improved blood flow.
And you mentioned earlier that this works synergistically with natural testosterone production. Can you explain that connection a bit more? How does boosting NO indirectly help T?
Yeah, it's quite fascinating how they link up. Better blood flow, which is the direct result of enhanced NO, means more efficient delivery of nutrients and oxygen to all tissues, including the testes where testosterone is made.
Ah, okay. Better supply lines.
Precisely. Think about it. If those testosterone-producing cells are getting everything they need delivered efficiently, they can potentially function better. Also, improved circulation during workouts might actually enhance the natural testosterone-boosting effects of the exercise itself. Plus, those antioxidants we talked about, they don't just protect NO, they might also help protect the Leydig cells in the testes, the ones that produce testosterone, from oxidative damage.
Interesting.
And there's another angle. For some people, improved circulation can contribute to better sleep quality. And as we hammered home earlier, great sleep is absolutely vital for optimizing natural testosterone production. So it becomes part of that positive feedback loop.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So who might be the ideal candidate for exploring this type of targeted NO support? Who would benefit most?
Well, it could be particularly beneficial for a few groups. Men who have, say, adequate testosterone levels on paper. Maybe their blood work looks fine, but they still experience performance issues, whether that's physical endurance or sexual function. Also, guys who are really looking to enhance their exercise performance and recovery. Athletes often use these. Anyone seeking natural cardiovascular support could benefit, or those experiencing general circulation issues like those cold hands and feet we mentioned. Really, it's for men who want that overall male vitality support, focusing on the vascular side, maybe without wanting to directly manipulate hormones through T therapy or boosters.
Right. And being realistic, what should someone expect if they decide to explore this? What can it help with? And maybe just as importantly, what is it not designed to do?
Good question. Realistic expectations are key. It may help support healthy blood flow, it may enhance exercise performance and recovery, and it can definitely complement a healthy lifestyle. However, it's crucial to understand it's not a direct testosterone replacement. It doesn't contain testosterone. It's not a direct T booster in itself, though it supports the environment for T production. It's also not a cure for serious underlying medical conditions. If you have significant health issues, you need to work with your doctor. And critically, it is not a substitute for those healthy lifestyle choices. We talked about diet, exercise, sleep, stress. It's an addition, not a replacement. And finally, it's not an overnight miracle solution. These things take time and consistent use to show benefits.
That's a really important clarification. Supplement, not substitute. Okay, this has been incredibly insightful. So for our listener who's sitting here, maybe nodding along, feeling ready to take control, what's a clear, actionable plan they can start building today? Walk us through the steps.
Okay, yeah, let's lay it out. I think it begins with a four-step process, building logically. Step 1, assessment and understanding. You need to know where you're starting from. This ideally means getting proper testing. Talk to a healthcare provider. Get total and free testosterone checked, maybe some cardiovascular markers like blood pressure, lipids. Get the data. At the same time, start tracking your symptoms honestly for at least 2 weeks. Note your energy levels, maybe 110, your mood, sleep quality, exercise performance, libido. Get subjective data too. And honestly, evaluate your current lifestyle, sleep habits, stress levels, exercise routine or lack thereof, and your typical nutrition. Be real with yourself.
Okay, know thyself, get the data, track the feelings. What's step 2?
Step 2, build your foundation. This is where you implement those non-negotiables we discussed. Optimize your sleep. Seriously, make it a top priority. No excuses here. Manage your stress. Find consistent practices that work for you, meditation, breathing, nature time, whatever, and integrate them into your daily life. Establish an exercise routine that includes both resistance training and some form of cardiovascular work. Consistency over intensity, especially at first. And critically, improve your nutrition. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Get enough quality protein, healthy fats, and load up on colorful vegetables. Dial in the diet.
Right. Nail the basics first. Makes sense. And after that solid foundation is really in place and becoming habit.
Exactly. Once that lifestyle foundation is solid, maybe after a few months of consistency, that's when you can get. Step 3. Consider targeted support. This is where you might think about adding specific supplements, like those designed to boost nitric oxide, if that seems relevant based on your assessment and symptoms. If you do, start gradually. Introduce maybe just one new supplement at a time so you can clearly assess its impact. Don't throw the kitchen sink at it. Continue to monitor your progress carefully. Keep tracking those symptoms and energy levels, see what changes, and remember to be patient. These physiological systems respond over weeks and months, not usually days. Give it time to work.
Good advice. One thing at a time. Track. Be patient. And finally, what's the long-term view? Step 4.
Step 4. Ongoing optimization. This isn't a one-and-done fix, it's a continuous process. This means regular reassessment. Maybe every 3 to 6 months, check back in. How are things going? Are adjustments needed? Maybe retest key markers. Stay informed. The science in men's health and performance is constantly evolving. Keep learning. And don't hesitate to work with knowledgeable professionals, doctors, functional medicine practitioners, coaches, especially those who really understand men's health and hormone optimization. Get expert guidance for your specific situation.
Okay, assessment, foundation, targeted support, ongoing optimization. That's a really clear roadmap. It definitely sounds like this isn't a quick fix, though, but truly a journey of continuous improvement.
Exactly. That's the perfect way to put it. Optimizing male vitality isn't about finding a magic bullet. It's really about creating sustainable improvements that will benefit you for years, even decades to come. Both the testosterone system and the nitric oxide system, they thrive on consistent long-term support. And what's truly powerful here, I think, is the compound effect.
Ah, the compound effect. Explain that in this context.
Think of it like this. Small, consistent improvements in multiple areas start to build on each other. Better sleep improves your hormones. Improved hormones enhance your ability to recover from exercise. Better exercise improves your sleep quality and stimulates NO. Enhanced NO supports better delivery for hormones and exercise fuel. You see how it creates this positive upward momentum? Each positive change reinforces the others, and the overall transformation over time can be dramatic.
Yeah, that's a really motivating way to look at it. Instead of a vicious cycle down, you're building a virtuous cycle up.
Precisely.
So how can our listener avoid some common pitfalls on this journey? It sounds exciting, but maybe a bit overwhelming too.
Yeah, there are definitely a few traps to watch out for. First, try to avoid all or nothing thinking. I miss one workout, so the whole week is ruined. Consistency in several areas, even if it's imperfect, is far, far better than striving for absolute perfection in just one area and then giving up. Progress over perfection.
Okay, don't let perfect be the enemy of good.
Exactly. Second, don't fall into supplement dependence. Remember, they are tools within a comprehensive, holistic approach. They support the foundations. They don't replace them. Don't expect a pill to fix a terrible lifestyle. And always, always remember individual differences. What works wonders for your body might not be the optimal approach for your unique physiology, genetics, and lifestyle. Listen to your own body.
That's crucial. Personalize the plan. And finally, how do we make these crucial changes actually stick and become sustainable habits, not just, a New Year's resolution that fades by February?
Great question. Sustainability is key. First, make it convenient. Choose routines, meal preps, stress reduction techniques that genuinely fit into your existing life, rather than requiring a total overhaul that's hard to maintain. Second, focus on progress, not perfection, like we said. Celebrate those small wins along the way, hitting your protein goal, getting an extra hour of sleep, adding another rep. Those wins build motivation. And finally, create accountability. This could be through tracking your progress in a journal or app, working with a coach or a healthcare professional, or even just involving supportive friends or family in your goals. Sharing the journey can make a big difference.
Make it convenient, celebrate progress, build accountability. Excellent advice. Wow. What an absolutely incredible deep dive this has been. We've unpacked so much today, from the individual power of testosterone and nitric oxide to their really surprising and crucial synergy. It's so much clearer now that when it comes to male vitality, it's really not about choosing between them, is it? It's about understanding how to champion both.
That really is the fundamental takeaway, yeah. While testosterone often grabs the spotlight and it is vital, nitric oxide plays an equally crucial role in physical performance, circulation, overall energy, mood, the whole picture. And while lifestyle is absolutely paramount, targeted support for that nitric oxide side, perhaps using supplements as one tool, can be valuable for some guys, but always as part of that holistic, comprehensive approach.
So the question really isn't whether you should focus on testosterone or nitric oxide. The real question for you, our listener, is how can you best support both of these interconnected systems to reclaim the vitality that is rightfully yours? What small, consistent step will you take starting today to begin building that upward momentum we talked about?
Just remember, consistency and patience are your steadfast allies on this journey. It takes time, but the results are worth it. We truly hope this deep dive has given you some real clarity and maybe a powerful new perspective for your path forward.
Absolutely. Until next time, keep digging deeper.